everyone, this is Visual Novel Gamer here, and I am back with Katawa Shoujo. Last time, Emmy got a leg infection, so she couldn't use one of her prosthetics anymore, so she can't run for a few weeks. And they did the deed for the first time. I know I didn't show any of it, but right before they actually got to it, Ren walks in and saw Emmy topless, and my character didn't know what to do. Something about a cloud. I was laughing, like dying laughing when I saw it. But let's continue. The sunlight breaks through my window shortly after my alarm ruins the morning silence. I feel sore. The events of the previous evening suddenly intrude upon my consciousness, and I find myself blushing. That was an uneventful evening, and it explains perfectly the soreness in my lower back. The walk back, as I recalled, had been rather tense. My trousers having been soiled, I had washed them off in the bathroom before going back to my room, but there was still a fairly obvious looking stain on the front. Fortunate for me, the only person I ran into on the way back was Genji, and he didn't notice a thing. Well, apart from me being in the general vicinity. Of course, he asked how my night went and whether or not I learned anything of importance. I don't even know if I opened my mouth to answer. I was too tired to care. And this morning, I'll admit that I'm feeling pretty worn out. Still, Emmy had promised to meet me at the track, and I'll hate to disappoint. She is indeed waiting for me when I arrive, doing her best to look cheery, despite the fact that she's sitting in a wheelchair. I wave to her and begin stretching. You're early. Emmy frowns and shakes her head. Ridiculous. You're late. Overslept, Hissao? All tuckered out? Well, at least she seems more like her usual, like her old self. And as expected, she doesn't seem that shy about mentioning our previous activities. Hey, you lucky I could show up at all. Or that cardiac activity last night. I nearly thought I would have to see the nurse afterwards. Emmy laughs out loud, then her face suddenly becomes concerned. Hey, that's not, you're not. Go on, spit it out. It's just that it would be hard to explain if you had an episode while we were... I didn't even think of that. What's it gonna be like for the other girls' routes? I bet he doesn't do morning runs in the other girls' routes. Oh god. Oh. Oh. Now that she mentions it, it really is a legitimate concern. I certainly hadn't thought of it last night, of course. Rather more pressing concerns had been at hand. Well, I don't think anything we do is going to be any more of a strain than these morning runs, and I handle those fine, so... Emmy considers the point. A devious light appears at her eyes. Say, The light vanishes, and Emmy grins fully at me. I can't help but feel vaguely suspicious. I seem to have forgotten a pair of gloves. What do you need gloves for? Emmy indicates the chair upon which she is seated. For this, of course. Sure, regular moving around is all well and good about him, but I would be able to get a good workout. And to get that kind of speed, you gotta have gloves if you don't want blisters. So, what, are you wussing out on me then? Do I have to go it alone? Emmy thinks for a moment, or pretends to think. If I remember right, there's a spare pair or two in the track shed. She does seriously want to do it then. But in her normal school uniform, I'd expected her to wear her gym outfit for something like this. Wait, what are they doing there? Emmy looks astonished at me. Seriously, you can't think why a shed full of track supplies at a school for the disabled would have racing gloves? Well, when she puts it that way, I suppose that makes perfect sense. Hey, I'm still getting used to this place. Give me a break, huh? I guess I can let it slide this time. Now come on, I need your help. I can't imagine what for, but then again, I don't have a clue why racing gloves would be in the shed, so I'm not willing to press the issue. Emmy navigates her way to the shed easily enough. I could hear her grumbling under her breath. It's actually kind of cute. I hurry a little to reach the door first. Opening it would be easier for me than for her. The door opens and Emmy starts to wheel inside, only to come to a sudden halt at the doorway. It seems the door side is slightly too high for her to get over by herself. She makes a few run attempts at it unsuccessfully, before crossing her eyes and glaring at the offending object. Stupid wheelchair. Sal, can you give me a hand here? Sure, no problem. It's simple enough matter for me to bump Emmy over the doorway, gesture jolting her slightly. Hey, easy there. Whoops, sorry. It was about this time that I failed to notice where I was going and ran Emmy's chair into a mat. My guy's terrible at this. She gives a startled yelp and topples forward out of her chair. There's a moment of silence as I gaze in horror upon what I've done. Emmy glares at me. Miss Sal? Yes? Promise me you'll never work at a hospital. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Emmy giggles and holds up a hand. Would you kindly help me back into my chair, Sal? As I bend down to pick Emmy, she grins in triumph and pulls me into a kiss that quickly has us both in this time, would you? They did the doodlies, but they want the door number 2, you could say, and it did not look pleasant. That's all I gotta say. Bumps are not my friend right now. I am so sorry we tried this. Emmy shrugs and grins. Well, it was worth a shot, right? And anyway, it was a good exercise, right? Can't argue that. As we make our way to the nurse's office, I notice that Emmy keeps shifting uncomfortably in her seat. God, this feels weird. Good thing I'm in a wheelchair, yes, Al. Why is that? Because now I don't have to explain to the nurse why I'm walking funny. Oh. We're never doing this again. The nurse is at least kind enough to not comment on the marks that Emmy left on my shoulders. Nor does he say a word about Emmy constantly shifting about in her wheelchair. Either he didn't notice or he didn't want to notice. All the same, I'm going up to make sure he didn't slip cyanide into my medication for a little while. Just to be safe. I shower for longer than usual, just to be sure I'm clean of our little experiment, and then collapse onto my bed. Class is in 20 minutes, so I could probably afford a nap. Those naps are the worst. You can't trust them. Knock knock. Who's there? Knock knock. That's not how the joke goes at all. I already said who's there. More importantly, what time is it? Even more importantly, what day? I'm suddenly catapulted into wakefulness by both the fact that the knocking still hasn't stopped and the fact that it's noon on a school day. Now fully awake, I can remember why I was napping. Better not give that excuse to Muto. Sorry, I wasn't in class. I was experimenting sexual with my girlfriend and it tired me out. Yeah, that'll go over well. I wonder how long this knocking is going to continue. Guess I'll have to answer the door. I'm strangely unsurprised to see Kenji on the other side. Though it appears that Kenji is surprised to see me. What the hell are you doing here, man? Well, I was sleeping. Kenji nods in understanding. Knockout, I see. I told you to be careful around that Izabaki chick, man. This is the sort of thing that happens when you aren't cautious. He makes an attempt to look at the back of my head. Did she hit you with something? Or was it a drug? Stop trying to touch me. Kenji produces a flashlight and shines it in my eyes. Got a concussion? I wasn't knocked out. Maybe you just don't remember. This conversation isn't going anywhere. No, I just had a tiring morning and fell asleep. Whatever, man. If you want to be in denial about this, I guess I can't stop you. But you gotta watch out for that girl, man. She's not safe. What? She's not safe to be around. She's one of those most sinister agents. If you're not careful, there's no telling what could happen. She brought down stronger men than you know. What the hell are you talking about? She's not an agent of anything, and she didn't knock me out, okay? I also highly doubt she brought down anyone at all. Kenji looks almost offended. I had no idea why. You don't believe me? That's cold, man. Real cold. I'm just trying to look out for you. That's what friends do, you know. We're friends? I had no idea. Then again, I wonder if Kenji knows what being a friend even entails. I feel something like pity for him, standing there before me. Maybe he does think he's looking out for me. I know. Sorry about that, thanks for the warning. I hold out my hand as a sign of peace. Kenji shakes it gingerly, like my hand could possibly be on fire. There's an awkward silence for a few seconds before Kenji remembers that he's still shaking my hand. Anyway, I need a favor. What kind of favor? I'm out of money. No, you aren't. You got money kept in your desk drawer under a black notebook for emergencies. Did you ransack my room? That's not important. I don't need money anyway. He adopts a very serious tone. I'm about to undertake a major op. It'll blow the whole conspiracy wide open. But it's dangerous, so I need you to do something for me in case I don't come back. Sure, man, anything. What the hell is he planning on doing? Should I be telling someone about this? If I go missing, wait 3 days and mail them my journal off to the newspapers. It's hidden in my room under a false bottom in one of my desk drawers. How do I get into your room? I don't have a key. Kenji looks at me like I'm crazy. So pick the lock. You know how to do that, right? It's an important skill to learn at a young age. Yeah, I guess I know how. I'll be sure to do that for you if you go missing. I don't think I want to read Kenji's journal. Either way, Kenji seems pretty happy that I agreed to do this thing for him. Great, man, great. I'll see you around. I got stuff to do. And he's gone, dashing down the hallway. He made it sound so final. I hope I don't have to carry out his final wish. Shaking my head, I close the door and walk to my bed. Guess I should go to class, if only to catch the later half of the day. But I'd come this far without going to class today. And I did want to read more of that hacking book Muta left me. I'm sure he'll understand. Knock knock. This time the noise jerks my attention away from the book. An experience not unlike being woke up. Who's there? Me, aren't you glad? The voice is muffled through the door, but unmistakably Emmy's. I hop up and open the door, smiling boldly. Hey, nice to see you around. Emmy grins back, staring up at me from her wheelchair. Yeah, you would have seen me earlier, but the damn elevator wasn't working. I had to wait for them to fix it. You think they could keep it in better order, but no. I chuckle at her vexed expression and invited her in. She wheels in easily, and with my help, she hops onto my bed. There, much comfortable than that stupid chair. A sigh of content hangs in the air, and for a minute we both just stare at one another. At this point, I notice the circles under Emmy's eyes. They're not that dark, but they definitely weren't there before. Before I ask about them, Emmy fixes me with a mischievous stare. So I couldn't help but noticed you weren't at lunch today. In fact, I don't think I saw you at all. What happened? Fell asleep. I actually didn't wake up until lunch, and only then because Kenji woke me up. Why had you so tired? Strenuous workout this morning. Slightly uncomfortable, too. Emmy coughs, a half-laughing, half-embarrassed noise. Remind me not to do that again. You don't have to keep saying that, but okay. No problem. It wasn't exactly great for me either, to be honest. We'll just avoid that from now on. Are you, still sore? Emmy stares at me in disbelief. But it's a legitimate question. All the questions I never thought I'd be asked, that's one of them. Well, I didn't ever expect to have to ask it, so we're even. Emmy laughs at this. I guess so, huh? Well, since you ask, I'm still a little sore. We're never doing that again. No arguments from here. Yawn escapes her, and I raise an eyebrow. Tired? Emmy nods sleepily. Haven't slept well. Not sleeping well. I can't tell that she didn't mean to tell me this either, because she gives a little start like she's just been caught lying and hastens to add. It's not a big deal though. What's the trouble? Emmy shrugs and refuses to elaborate. Stress over exams? Another shrug, but after a pause, Emmy nods hesitantly. Yeah, I guess. Actually, that's why I stopped by. She begins to look more and more miserable. Not so you notice, of course, but her eyes are on her lap. She's fidgeting and her voice is quiet. We need to stop hanging out so much. Huh? Why? Emmy takes a deep breath like she's been practicing this. Because you're too much fun to be around. And I can't concentrate when you're near me. With the exams coming up soon, I just can't have that distraction. Otherwise, my grades will be pretty lousy, I'm afraid. I could help you study. She smiles at me, clearly unhappy with the situation. I'd love it if you could, but we wouldn't actually study, would we? I mean, even now, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but I kind of just want to, not convert. Ah. Overwhelmed by my rugged manliness. I understand. That earns me a grin at least. Emmy shakes her head. Idiot, you're full of yourself. Well, I am pretty irresistible. More or less, I guess. So that's the situation, Hisao. I have too much fun around you, and if I'm going to go into exam preparation, I need to be alone. Hey, that's okay. It really seems to have been bothering her. Besides, it's only a couple of weeks, and we'll still see each other in the mornings and at lunch. We can just hang out at school, no problem. After our exams, we'll go on a date to celebrate them being over, okay? Emmy grins, pleased by this proposal. Yeah, sure, that sounds great. As if to sign the end of the conversation, she leans in and kisses me. The rest of the night is not spent worrying about exams. Don't tell me, okay, I don't want to do another cut. Because last time I wasn't expecting that. It's weird how easily Emmy and I could keep from seeing one another after class now. Actually, I venture to say that it's vaguely disturbing. As easy as we come together, we seem to have split apart without much trouble. Well, I guess that's not exactly true. We've both been pretty bummed after that last night together. And we get to see each other every morning for our runs, and just our runs, I might add. Lunch too. I especially enjoy lunchtime with her. We have plenty of time to talk about everything outside of school. Whether or so the morning runs had become increasingly businesslike. I think it's because Emmy wants to make up for our foolery in the storage shed. But no matter how much we joke at lunch, I can't help feeling a little worried about her. She seems distant more often, and I caught her fidgeting nervously more than once. Never figured her to be someone who cared that deeply about exams. but they certainly seem to be taking their toll, even though they haven't even started. This is just a run-up, the deep breath before the plunge. Tomorrow the real trial begins. Or the real exams, anyway. As for me, I actually don't feel that worried about exams at all. I'm not sure why. I mean, they're pretty important. My scores here will determine my odds of getting into a good university. Hell, if I'm too clever now, it could spell doom for my academic career. But going into them, I feel confident that I'll come out the other side okay. Luto thinks I got this science exam locked up at any rate. Or as you say, the last thing that should give you trouble is my exam, Misao. It's way beneath your talents. Then again, it is Muto who's been telling me this. His praise of me carries the Fanyu implied that anything less than perfection for me would be a disappointment, which has actually caused me to fret more than I should about the exam. It's for that reason that I found myself in the library after class poring over the textbooks. Pretty simple things to look over. Some formulas of elasticity, a few bits about fraction. I walked in the park to prepare to my dreaded English exam. Never was good with languages. As I flip through my notes one more time, my mind begins to wander. After these exams are over, things should get easier. Soon we'll be graduated, then off to college, hopefully. I remember my abrupt attempts to find out what Emmy plans to do after high school. She avoided the subject pretty carefully, as I recall. Heck, it seems that just about every time I pushed too hard, she danced around the subject. Or distanced me, though, through other means. Like a few days ago at lunch when Ren wasn't around. I've done it! I'm startled from my revelation by Yuki's triumphant shout. Gah! Yuki seems mortified at me suddenly startling. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, and it's just that. As she stutters, I move too quickly, calm her down before she gets too agitated. Whoa, hey. My words seem ineffective. Yuki continues to work herself into a complete frenzy. And it's a library and I shouldn't be easy there. Just slow down. And I'm really setting a bad example now. I'll get fired because I can't do anything right. Yuki! Shouting seems to work, though I draw the ear rate of several other students staying in the library. Yuki snaps to attention like a soldier who just heard the captain beckon order. Sorry. Calm down, it's okay. You just startled me a little. And that's only because I was daydreaming instead of studying. So, really, you got me back on task. This is a complete lie, but it seems to work. Yuki takes a deep breath and seems to calm down a little, though she keeps shifting around with a nervous energy that seems awfully familiar. So, what's got you excited anyway? Yamako Cat Burglar. To her credit, Yuko managed to convey her intense excitement in a whisper. I think I know who it is. I got an anonymous tip as to their identity. So I did some spying, and I think the tipster was right. Really? And who is this, burglar? Yuki shuts her mouth, shaking her head decisively. Nope, I can't tell you that. Why not? It's between me and the burglar. I can't risk you warning him that I'm on his game. He can tip his hand early and blow town. Then I'm left with no prep. When did Yuki start talking like a hard-boiled detective? I wouldn't warn them. Why would I care? If you got to ask that question, then you don't need to know. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. Oops, sorry. Congratulations, I guess? Thanks. What for? The, cat burglar thing. Yuko nods and smiles appreciative. So, studying for exams? Well, that was the plan. I'm not having much luck, though. Really? Is it because you can't find a book? I'm really sorry. I've been meaning to clean the shelves up for weeks now, but I keep getting distracted. I'm so sorry. Well, wait. It's not that. I got my book right here. To illustrate the point and hopefully calm Yuko down, I show her the textbook in front of me. My mind's just wandering is all. Is it because of the noise in here? I'm trying to be more strict about the noise levels, but I can't bring myself to yell at people. I mean, aren't their lives hard enough without me throwing my authority around? No, it's not the noise level either, I promise. I'm just... Hell, I don't know. Worried about Emmy? Worry about us? Worry about what happens after we graduate? Emmy's been kind of weird lately. What do you mean? Well, you know how we're dating now. I just don't know that we're actually, a couple. Or at least I don't know that we're beyond friends. Though friends don't normally do the sort of things we do. Physically, we're a couple. Coupling, at least. Like, every time I try to find out more about her, or about what she wants to do with her life, she dodges the question. Like the other day, I was talking to her at lunch about some schools I've been looking into. And I asked her, have you looked into any schools lately? She shrugs in response and says no, and when I ask why not, she says that she doesn't think that far ahead. I asked why, and she had that policy, and I suddenly realized what I'm about to start describing, and wisely decides to clam up. She what? She changed the subject. Wouldn't talk about it. Maybe it's an uncomfortable subject for her. Or she just doesn't think it needs explaining. Yeah, but it's not just that. Every time I try to find out what's been bothering her, she changes the subject too. It's like she likes being with me, but not getting close with me to me. Now that I said it out loud, I feel worse. Yuko digest this bit of info. You know, it seems to me that you're more serious about this than she is. I can almost feel my stomach twist into a knot. She's right. That's exactly what it seems like. But is this really what's going on? I mean... Sorry, I'm just talking nonsense. You shouldn't take my advice. You barely know me. I'm just a librarian, and I'm single, so you can imagine. I can't know what I'm talking about. No, I think you have a point. What's up with those tears? As much as it hurts to even consider it, Yuko seems to try desperately to find a way to soften the blow somewhat. Look. I'm probably wrong, but if you wanted to be sure how obviously wrong I am, maybe you should just talk to her. Get some time alone and just ask about it. And don't let her change the subject either. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Or maybe I should just enjoy what I have. We have fun hanging out after all. And the runs are nice, and the other activities are nice, and talking to her is nice. Do I really need to get closer to her? What I got right now is pretty good. But that's silly. I want to get closer to her. I want to be able to help her out with whatever is bothering her. But maybe I should wait until after exams are over. Maybe she'll brighten up once the stress has passed. If she does, then I don't need to worry about it anymore. But if she doesn't, well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I thanked Yuko for her advice and headed back to my room. Maybe I'll be able to concentrate more on my studies in there. I left the room after finishing my exams and breathed a sigh of relief. As I hoped the exams weren't so bad, I managed to breeze through just about everything but the English final. And even that was acceptable. I wonder how Emmy did. Even more so, how she's doing. She looked terrible at lunch today. I mean, she was pretty happy to be out of her wheelchair, but she was so exhausted. Something's been wearing her down, and I'm starting to really doubt that it was just the exams. Should I confront her about this, though? My musing is interrupted by a tap on the shoulder. Hey, Sal. Got a minute? Just gotta see, of course. I suppose I can spare a few minutes. No, I have better things to worry about. I would say, yeah, I can spare a few minutes. Yeah, I got some time. Nowhere important to be or anything like that. Muto raises his eyebrow as if questioning my statement and beckons me back into the classroom. I wanted to get some feedback from you if I could. I know that this course wasn't quite up to your level. Don't worry about that. The science club activities more than made up for it. Did they? Well, in fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Do you think that it was a worthwhile activity, just for my own reference? Well, yeah, it was a great way to go further than what we did in class. It was definitely worthwhile. Muto seems delighted by my response. That's great. Exactly the sort of thing I was hoping for. You know, Hisa, I'm glad we came here. It's always good to have a student who really gets into the subject you teach. In a way, it makes dealing with the rest of the students more tolerable. You're a bright kid, too. You take this stuff like a duck to water, or so other such simile. Thanks. You were a great help, especially with that college stuff. There's one more thing, Hisa. A bit of advice from one scientist to another. What's that? What does a scientist do? Observe the world around him. Exactly. Good. A simple question, but one that most people can't seem to answer. That's the essence of science, Hal. We observe what's there, and try to figure it out. But what if there's something you can't figure out? What's a scientist to do if he can't observe something? How, for example, can we talk about quarks when nobody has actually seen one? Or black holes when observing them directly is impossible? Well, scientific equipment's pretty advanced. Muto eerily waves away my response. No, that's not it at all. Those are tools. I'm trying to give you a philosophy. Think, if you can't observe something directly, then how could you observe it? Guess? How? How would you guess the moment of a quark? What is your guess based on? Of course. I should have thought of it earlier. Thing and effects. Muto claps his hands together excitedly and whoops. Yes, exactly. Good. Remember that, Hassan. If you can't examine something directly, it's because you're looking at it wrong. You have to look at it differently if you want to uncover the truth. And if it indulges you, then look at what it leaves behind. That is the essence of being a scientist. We never stop looking for the answer, never take anything for granted. Observe equipment and observe experiment and observe some more. There's a lot of stuff out there that makes no sense to Sal. Your job is to get it to make sense. If nothing else, I hope you learn that here. I think I can remember that. Muto smiles satisfied. Good. Now go and enjoy your time off. You earned it. I leave the room feeling a little confused. What brought that on? Although, am I going about this thing with Emmy the wrong way? If she won't tell me, then can I go about it some other way? The question keeps spinning in my head, even after I made my way back to my room. What if she gets angry about it? Besides, what if it's nothing? If I go in and refuse to leave until she tells me what's wrong or something, won't that come off as clingy? I don't want to start a fight over anything over something like this. Maybe I should just drop the matter and see how she is tomorrow before I do anything. Would it be so bad to just let it go? It's not like we don't enjoy each other's company. But odd as it sounds, I really want to help her. I don't even know what with, or if there's anything at all she needs help for. But I want to. Suddenly, a knock at my door rouses me. It's Kenji. I open it to see Kenji. Oh, it's you. It's me. That's it? If you have any idea what I've been through, what I've done, you'll be happier to see me, dude. I mean, that was some epic you may never see me again shit. And here, you're just acting like I went down to the store for some milk. You're a cold man, Hisao. I really respect that. Thanks, I guess. Smart to play it safe, you know? Don't show any emotion. Keep your cards close to your chest, unless it's time to show your cards, or you had bad cards. Then you should fold, or collect your winnings. Do you understand? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I take it that the mission went well. Well, awful noisy. Nosy, aren't of you, isn't it? You can't just go saying things like that. Things are at a delicate stage. Going wrong movement, bam. The invasion succeeds. I thought you were going to blow the conspiracy wide open. It's bigger than I thought. I need to update my charts. I'll probably change some of the puppets around. You want to help? I got some whiskey from somewhere. You can fill me in on everything your investigation has turned up. Better now. I'm supposed to meet her today. Gotta go do that. Can't raise suspicion. Kenji nods in approval. Still keeping it close to the chest, eh? Okay, man, I respect that. Good luck. Thanks. I'm just going to pretend for the sake of my own sanity that he's wishing me luck in talking to Emmy. And if I sprint the whole card analog he was talking about works here. Time to lay it all on the table. Or see if I can get Emmy to do so rather. With the sense of something approaching purpose, I head for Emmy's room. I head up the stairs leading to her room and knock on her door. Who's there? Huh? That's odd. Her voice seems a little choked. Hey, it's me. Thought I'd stop by. Hisao? Come on in. I reach down to the door only to find that it's locked. More and more cautious. Your door's locked. Oh yeah, sorry. Give me a minute. In a few minutes, Emmy opens the door, grinning. Sorry, I had to put my legs on. I was napping. Despite her grin, there's something definitely off. Emmy's eyes are slightly red. It looks like she's been crying. Hey, no problem. Are you okay? Huh? Yeah, I'm fine. It's just that it looks like you've been crying. Oh yeah, so you're off to a great start on this one. What? Nah, I'm just happy to see you. Oop, there's her kiss. She punctuates with a long kiss that continues as the door slams shut behind us. I know what she wants to do now. I'm also painfully aware of how badly I want to do it too, but I break the kiss with a wrench of self-control that nearly kills me. Hey, wait. Emmy eyes crinkle in response, confusion. Huh? Wait for what? We need to talk. Isn't that supposed to be my line? And never a good thing to say? She's got a point. It usually lead up to a breakup. Or the prelude to a fight. Maybe it can be a good thing this time. That's the hope anyway. Uh-huh. to you, but now I came to your room and you've been crying, and that kills me. But I can't do anything if you won't talk to me about it. I told you, I'm fine. No, you aren't. It's obviously something eating at you. You could tell me, you know? There's the slightest increase in tension in Emmy's voice. Why is me saying I'm fine not good enough? You're concerned, I get that, that's cool. But I'm fine and it's nothing you need to worry about. Not sleeping and spacing out more than Ren doesn't strike me as being fine. I just want to help. Uh-huh. Yeah, and I don't like seeing you like this. I want you to be happy, you know? I get the feeling that came out wrong because Emmy fixes me with an icy stare. So you want to fix me, Hisao? She's definitely getting angry now. Want to swoop in on your white charger and save the day? Stop the nightmares? The phantom limb pains? Restore what's lost? Her voice catches in her throat and the tears start to flow. Well, you can't. Nobody can. Nobody will. I'm so stunned by her sudden verbal assault that I remain quiet. Neither of us say anything for a while. I'm surprised that Emmy tightens her grip on me, rather than pushing me away. After a deep breath, she starts talking again. Look, I'm sorry. There's these nightmares about the accidents. Ah, the accident. I should have known. I took her legs, after all, but it never comes up, of course. And I usually deal with them fine because I can run. Running clears my head like nothing else. I don't have to worry about anything while I'm running. I'm just concentrating on breathing and the rhythm of things. It's easier that way. Life's easier that way. Just keep moving forward, you know? Nothing else matters. Just keep moving around the next curve. And then it's the next curve. And then the next, and then the next. Until I can't go anymore. Or think anymore. Or do anything but slow down and walk until I catch my breath again. After something like that, nothing else matters. But I've been stuck in that goddamn wheelchair for too long. So no outlets. Today's just kind of boiled over a little. You could have talked about it with me. You could have talked to me about it, you know. You didn't have to go it alone. Emmy smiles sadly, like she's trying to explain to I get off the bed and head for the door, pausing at the doorway. Hey, Emmy? Yeah? Thousand things I want to say. I'm too mixed up to say any of them, though. After her admitting that she'll never let me close, I feel like my world's just been ripped out from me. What happened in that accident? I know she lost her legs, but that never seemed to bother her. What happened there? What scares a girl so badly she won't accept help, even from someone she loves? I don't know, but I want to know. I want to know so badly that being denied the answer feels like a knife in my guts. Is that you were saying? I'm still standing in the doorway. Nothing. Never mind. And I'm closing the door and walking down the hallway, down the stairs, out the door, into the dark. Somehow I wander back to my own room. My brains are doing a mile a minute, going nowhere fast. I can't figure out how to deal with this. I thought that moving forward was a good thing. Dwelling less in the past that I can't change. Living in the present and looking at the future. After this thing with Emmy, I'm not sure anymore. She was saying the truth. It's simpler to look at the next curve, ignoring the path gone by. No worry about the opponent left behind. No care for the spectator on the sidelines. And unfortunately, no time to watch out for lagging teammates either. I throw myself down on the bed, looking at one corner of my ceiling as if the answers I want were written there. No such luck, of course. She's literally running away from something. But have I not been doing the same thing? Trying my best to forget about my hospitalization? I'm getting better, but my health isn't going to magically fix itself. Emmy has 2 legs instead of a heart to deal with, but those aren't going to magically fix themselves either. Maybe this is just as fixed as the both of us can get. The room becomes darker and darker until I can't really tell I'm looking at a corner anymore. The morning comes too soon on the heels of a sleepless night. Is this how Emmy's been spending her nights? Staring at the wall or ceiling, trying to stop thinking about whatever it is. Her, in my case. That clenched feeling in my gut is still there. I can't rely on you. Words spoken so casually. Almost like she was teasing me or castigating me for suggesting that the earth is flat. That's how it's got to be. The way it's got to be sucks. I'm feeling so miserable that I nearly decided to skip the run. That would be stupid though. It's not something I should do just to see her. Sure, that was the original reason, but something more now. I started to enjoy the running itself. There are worse ways to get the blood flowing anyway. Never thought I'll say it after the first week or so, but I feel a lot better after a run. Like, no matter what else I do today, I at least done that one thing. It wakes me up too. And Emmy herself said that running always clears her mind. Maybe it'll help clear mine. I hope so. The morning is cool and clear, if a bit humid. Summer is making itself known, it seems. Emmy's already stretching out when I arrive and greets me with a smile and a wave. Hey, Estelle. The sight of her so chipper is like a kick in the nuts. How can she be so happy after yesterday? I give a half wave and am surprised to receive a hug. Hey, about last night. Here it comes. I wanted to say thanks. I actually managed to get some sleep for the first time in a while. I think it's because of our talk. So thanks. How could she sleep better after our chat? She basically told me that she wouldn't get any closer to me. And that let her sleep well? Excuse me, but what the hell? Emmy doesn't notice my bafflement or chooses not to notice. No telling with her anymore. Oh, no problem. Glad it helped. The vermin that threatens to dip into my voice is controlled for now. But I think I better start running now before I do anything stupid. Emmy seems equally willing to get started, and before long we're darting around the track. I can tell she feels more relaxed. Her running has got her back to the more graceful movements I remember from when I first watched her. Sorry. It's a stark contrast to the almost brutal way she's been hurling herself around the track these past few days. Our talk really does seem to have helped her. A pity it couldn't help me. I get into the rhythm of running, thinking back to when I couldn't afford thinking about anything else but keeping my breathing steady and legs moving. Guess those days are gone. At least for the first couple of laps. Annoyed at the lack of success I'm having with clearing my head, I increase the pace. There's the burning sensation in my legs. The breathing, the breath coming in ragged in my chest, the pounding of my heart, which I still need to be careful about. But it does seem to have gotten stronger. I can feel it pumping blood through my veins. The sound thuds in my ears, but instead of being panicked as I was the day in the snow, I'm instead filled with elation. Yes, it's working. My heart, the fatal flaw that landed me here, has improved. I'm able to keep going now, and maybe one day I'll be able to stop worrying them as much. Right now, it doesn't matter that I have no idea what to do about Emmy and me. All that matters is that my arms and legs continue to pump in contrast with one another. Nothing else. As I hit my final stretch, I reminded myself that running really does help, though not as much as I had hoped. I do feel better, and as I walk a few laps to cool down, I begin to remember last night in a slightly less emotional manner. Emmy wants me to stay distant from her. I can't bring myself to do so. There's gotta be a way around this, some kind of middle ground I could reach. Not sure what middle ground is, though. Damn, I'm almost feeling optimistic. Nice run, Sal. You really improved. Nice run. That's all I can hope for now, isn't it? Congratulations, Hisao. You're pathetic. I gotta change my attitude. Well, I am pretty awesome. And yet, I just keep saying things that I don't mean. Any second now, I'll be as good at hiding my problems as Emmy is. I like to think so. Why did she do this to me? Say something like that with such real affection in her voice that it makes my heart leap? She doesn't mean it. She can't. I must be doing a worse job than I thought. Emmy peers closely at me. Hey, are you feeling okay? Maybe we should get to the nurse, huh? Yeah, I hate to kill over on you. Emmy looks a little shocked by my bitter tone. Don't say things like that. You already done it once before, Why did she act so affectionate? She doesn't really care, I thought. She made that clear. But despite all of that, I found myself apologizing enough, even though I shouldn't have to. Even though she's probably just putting on an act. Sorry, huh? Come on, let's see the nurse. I can't get myself to calm down the whole time. Every time it feels like I gotten over what happened last night, Emmy does something or say something that shows affectionate, and I'm back to the beginning. The image of her ending that conversation haunts me. It was like the final twist of the knife that left me feeling brittle of any hope that Emmy and I could be more than what we are. And what are we at this point? A little more than friends who happen to fuck? And really, it's not like I don't enjoy the time I spend with her. I said so the other day myself. I very nearly didn't even bring anything up with her. I was just gonna hop on in there and let it ride, wasn't I? With this running through my head, I found myself in front of the nurse's office, still brooding as he checks out Emmy. Emmy comes beaming out of the door, gives me a kiss, and darts off to shower, I assume. Meanwhile, the nurse beckons me into the office and gives me the ritual once over. Any problems today? Nah, I even pushed it a little harder today than I had in the past, and I seem to be able to handle it. That's uncharacteristic coming from you, Hisao. You've been hanging out with Emmy too much. She's rubbed off on you, and not necessarily in a good way. At the mention of Emmy's name, I can't help but frown unhappily in spite of my efforts at control. Well now, this is new, don't you think? Last I checked, your usual response to Emmy's name was a grin, not a frown. What exactly happened between you two? Because Emmy doesn't seem to be in on it, whatever it is. She looked more relaxed than I've seen her in weeks, which is unusual for this time of year. What do you mean by that? By what? For this time of year. I keep trying to figure out what's been bothering her, but she clams up as soon as I broach that subject. Then last night she said, let me guess, she won't tell you because she says she can't trust you. And now you're crushed because you thought the two of you were so much more than she seems to think, right? More or less. How the heck did you know? Hisao, I'm the nurse. It's my job to know these things. Plus, I know Emmy for long enough to know that she'll try to do something like this. It's just like her. He says this in a sort of part half affectionate, half frustrated tone that would seem more appropriate if he had a cigarette dangling from his lips. As it is, he seems willing to make do with him. Look, you mind if I give you some advice? Absolutely, but I'm still gonna save, because I heard that there's some bad endings in this, and I'm gonna be doing that for the next route, most likely. Sure, why not? What was it Muto said yesterday? If you can't observe things, then observe what's around them. Well, for shot. The nurse knows Emmy better than I do, I wager. Sure. I'm open to suggestions. Honestly, I'm kind of lost. I got no idea how to deal with this. I never would have guessed. He grins while he says this. I think he's kidding. Look, here's the deal. Emmy is stubborn. You should know that by now, and if you don't, then you're pretty unobservant, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. I'm so grateful. Anyway, if she's decided that she doesn't want to talk about it, what happened, then she's not going to talk about what happened. Has she said anything about what's bothering her, even a hint? Well, she did say she's been having nightmares about the accident. Really? You're making progress then. That's good. Well, I guess I could fill you in on this without violating my strict non-interference policy when it comes to Emmy making stupid decisions. The anniversary of her accident is coming up soon. She gets depressed around this time because it was a pretty traumatic event considering what she lost. That's the other thing. She acted like she lost more than just her legs. What happened? Whoa, nope, not going there. You have to ask someone else about that, because that's a whole can of worms I'm not about to open. If Emmy wants you to know, she'll tell you in her own time. You just gotta be patient, that's all. Why are you even helping me with all this? Because you're good for her. She trusts you, even if you don't think she does. And you got the best chance out of anyone at this school right now to help her through this time of year. She won't accept my help, but she might accept yours if you don't screw it up. So don't screw it up, got it? I open my mouth to respond, but a knock and sound at the door interrupts me. Hey, you guys still in there? Just a minute, Emmy. Give us a second to put our pants back on. The door bursts open and Emmy glares knives at the nurse. Asshole. Didn't mean to get your hopes up. Hey, can we leave me out of this? Anyway, what's up, Emmy? Forgot something? I try to take a more cheerful tone with her. No need to upset her. Two can play the everything's fine game. Actually, I forgot to ask you something. Oh, what's that? You want to come with me on a trip to my house? Mom's making dinner, and I thought you might want to join us. Well, of course I accept. Emmy punches the nurse in the arm playfully. Not you, idiot. You were over last week. I was talking to Hisao. Oh, how interesting. Meeting the parent. I love to go, Emmy. Thanks. He said parent, not parents. Yo, my bet is her father's passed away in the accident. Was killed in the accident. That's my bet. 100% now. The nurse raises an eyebrow but says nothing. Great, I'll be in my room. Swing by after you shower and change into something clean, and we'll grab the bus. Sounds good, I'll see you in a bit. This time it's me who leans in for a quick kiss before drawing off to my room. I'm gonna end this right here. This was a good episode, a good part. Besides the whole shock with the scene earlier, but nothing I can do about that. This has been a Visual Novel Gamer. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think so far, and I'll see you next time. Peace.